Hey, it's George. I just want to say thank you for listening to this Trainer Spotlight episode. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. Coach, what's going on? Tell us a little bit about who you are.
Mhm. Hi, my name is Jane. I'm a certified personal trainer, and I am the owner of Move Well, Feel Well Personal Training Services. So, personal training is actually my second career. I started off working in politics actually for almost a decade now. I worked in several state legislatures, and I am so glad to not be working in politics anymore. Let me just say that. And I'm so, so glad to be able to help my clients and do some meaningful work as a personal trainer. So I love working with perimenopausal moms who have older kids. They have a little bit more time freedom, but they have some injuries, whether it's from delivery or it's just the aches and pains that we pick up along the way. So I love helping them be able to learn how to lift weights around their injuries, eventually through their injuries, eventually getting them to their pain-free place. And then they thrive and they bloom. And it is an absolute joy to be alongside them for that journey. So that's my business. That's my goal. And then I'm online and I am in person. And so I just realized that I love doing both. I love helping people in different areas from different states, from different time zones. And I also love being in the community and helping my one-on-one people in person because it's super rewarding to be able to be there to watch a person lift some heavy weight, to watch a mom lift some heavy weight that she never thought she could lift, and then feel wildly proud of herself when she can do it. She feels good, tired, but it's like a good tired, not a pain tired.
It's great getting to know you as a coach, but you're not a coach 24/7. So, can you tell me a funny or interesting story about yourself that happened either in your practice as a coach or in your normal life outside of coaching?
When I was a new trainer, I wasn't even like a regular gym goer. I was a new trainer in the gym. I didn't know how to use most of the machines because when I started working out, I'd use kettlebells and dumbbells and TRX straps, but not really the machines because they intimidated me. And so I was on the assisted pull up machine for the first time. And if you've never been on that machine, it has like two steps, and then it has a pad, and then it has overhead bars where you can place your hands. And so you step up onto the pad, put your knees on the pad. And then in terms of the weight, you mark how much weight you want the machine to take off so you can actually do a pull up. So, like, I think I marked like 120, right? And I did not know how to get off of that thing. And in hindsight, of course, I should have just climbed back off one knee at a time. But when I was done, I just let go. And the weight stack along with me on that pad, we all came crashing down. I wasn't hurt, but you can bet that everyone in the gym turned and looked at me. And I was like, hey, it's me. What's worse is I was a trainer there. Like if anyone should know how to use these machines, it's the trainers. But I was new, and I'm chalking it up as if I do the dumb things, then my clients will not.
What strategies do you use to attract and retain clients in your personal training business? I think we can all learn from each other here, and we'll probably find some answers to be quite similar to one another. But I'm really interested to hear what strategies and things you use to get new clients and keep the ones you currently have.
I've recorded this like 3 times because I have so much on this. And let me just say that I don't know any trainer who goes into personal training to become like super wealthy. It's honestly, we go into it to help people be able to lift weights and get stronger and all the benefits that come with exercise that we've fallen in love with. So the learning business strategies have been such a huge opportunity for growth. So here are several of the things that I've learned that I implement and I'm working on to improve. Number one, I have absolutely put money into a business coach, and I go to a business conference, a fitness business conference of some sort once a year. Like those are just built into my budget because being in the room with other trainers, with other people who have gone through the process, who have these tools and tricks and tips, has been wildly helpful and has saved me so much time. And I am absolutely willing to spend money to save time. Number two, I've realized that I have to give a lot before I ask. And so one of the things the movement maestro says, Shantae Coleman, she's like, you have to give and give and give before you ask, and you have to give things of value. So I try and do for sure one freebie every quarter but I'm trying to get that down to like once a month where it's something of actual value. So it's not just like a, hook to get people's emails, like legit try and provide something helpful and then draw those people in. Number three, I think the hardest part for me is at some point you just have to sell. And so I have a sale of some sort planned in every quarter. And even if the sale has not gone well, I've come to realize it's an opportunity to figure out how to say things better, do things better, provide something better. And then typically people will sign up because you're presenting an opportunity before them. And so sometimes it's like you just have to keep showing up and be willing to be messy and post even when you think no one is watching, because sometimes no one's engaging, but people are watching. And then when they come to the point where finally they're like, you know what, I need help. I trust you. Please help me. You're there. And it's an easy sell. Nothing is as easy in business, though, that I'm finding.
Let's say you get a new client. What's your process for assessing their fitness level, addressing their goals, and other things they express as being important? We all have different methods and can learn a lot from each other. Let's open the door and share some of our secrets.
I love this. We finally get to talk about training. So I strongly, strongly believe in having a client-led experience. So I don't like my philosophy is I don't force anybody to work out. I am here to complement your workout journey, to provide guidance, but I am not making you do anything. You're choosing to do so. And that's something that's really important to me, that they choose to work out. It's not that I'm making them work out. Number two, most of my clients, because they're moms who have never lifted weight before, the strength training world can be very intimidating. And the last thing I want to do is make them feel worse about a workout. So they're probably coming to me with pain. They're coming to me with anxiety. They're probably feeling down on themselves if they're getting injured. Like, why do I keep getting injured? And so I want to break through all of that. So one of the first things I do is just communicate. Today, we're going to just check in on some muscles. I'm going to teach you how to foam roll, how to warm up. And there are no wrong answers. So I might say, hey, can you feel this muscle? And if you can't, that's okay. We're going to be very curious about your body. There's no right or wrong. We're just going to play and see what happens. Are you up for playing? And they'll usually, at that point, they start to feel a little bit more comfortable. And the second thing I say is, hey, you may always interrupt me if something I'm asking you makes you feel pain or it makes you feel uncomfortable. I will never be upset if you interrupt me and cut me off because something is not okay for you. So please, please do that. And then what I do is I guide them through the movement assessment. So I used to like call it a movement assessment, but an assessment can be very anxiety inducing. So what I do is after I teach them how to foam roll and warm up, and I just go off the common things. We foam roll the quads, we foam roll the lats, and then usually the calves. I start there. And then I move on to just a simple workout, and I check for three things: core strength, pelvic floor core, right? Glute strength, and then back strength. And to me, that's my hierarchy of things I'm going to check because that's the common areas where most people are like lacking in. And I just guide them through a few glute bridges. I move them through a movement pattern of pelvic tilts, right? Can they feel their pelvic floor? And then can they feel their glutes when they start to squat? So I just have them do a gentle, easy workout. And that tells me a lot more of what's happening versus doing like an assessment per se. So
I'm a huge fan of continuing education, and I'm building FITLETE to give trainers more efficient access to education that solves their clients' problems. We all look at problem solving differently, and taking different courses, obtaining certifications, and going to new conferences can help us learn from one another. How do you continually develop your skill set as a trainer?
at this point, after training for 7 years, I feel like I have so many certificates. I'm not going to remember them all, but the ones that I feel are like the most notable. I love, love, love barbell rehab. I think if you're working with people who have injuries, barbell rehab is incredible. And it's an organization that pairs physical therapists with personal trainers, and it addresses the question like, where can we help a client when they have pain? And so it's been just a wonderful organization to connect with physical therapists, and then, just knowing that they can confidently hand off their clients to us, knowing we won't drive them into the ground, but we'll help their recovery process and help them get stronger. I have my postpartum certificate from Girls Gone Strong, and that one has been very helpful in not just helping like new moms or moms who've just had babies, to helping my older moms, because a lot of the issues that they have stem back to deliveries, even if their kids are like 10, 15 years old. So I think the other one I have is my NASM's corrective exercise, and I have my NASM certificate as well. The other thing I do is I actually have subscriptions to a few people in the industry who are doing the research in sports medicine, in biomechanics. And so I subscribe to their monthly like research reviews, and then I try and read those, keep up to date, and just constantly look at what's coming out from those qualified sources, not just from whatever's on social media.
The fitness industry is rapidly evolving before our eyes. How do you envision your personal training business evolving with it in the next few years? I'm really excited to hear what you have to say about this, because we have to plan for the future, and a future we want for our business. And while all of our businesses might have the same basic goal of helping people with their fitness, we can structure them in very different ways from one another.
So as a new trainer, I started off in a gym, and after that, I, started my own business, and I was in the online space, and I still am in the online space, and I believe in it, and I think it's such a wonderful opportunity to help more people, which I love. Like, I love being able to help people from different states, and, virtually, and even in the online programming space where, you create their workouts, you do all those things. The other thing I've come to realize is I love being in person, and I need both for me. I know some people are either fully online or they're fully in person, but for me, my happy place is both. So I definitely will. I'm in the process of contracting out some space so that I can train and still have my business, because I don't want to be a hired employee. I want to still have Move Well, Feel Well personal training services. And so my happy place is going to be a hybrid of half in person, doing the very real, tangible work, and then half online with programming for clients. I know some coaches are completely online and they're doing like no virtual time. And I know it's possible. I don't think that actually works for me, in the sense that, like, I don't want to not see how people move because we're dealing with injuries. I don't want to just give them a workout set and be like, good luck. So I think for me, that one-on-one FaceTime is important, so that I know that I'm giving them the best workout for their body, for their injuries. And so I don't ever fully see myself like completely not seeing clients on some level. And I love, love, love the online space. I think that has been such a huge tool to expand our reach to help more people, and not let like location be a barrier to it.
I know challenges are all over the place in the fitness industry and personal training. Information is available in different formats. Clients are more easily misled by gurus and charlatans. Social media's influence is becoming more and more ingrained in people's lives. And now we have AI. What do you think are some of the biggest challenges currently facing the fitness and personal training industry?
I think at this point, it's like the oversaturation of bad information. There's just too much information. I love social media. Don't get me wrong. I think it's an amazing tool to connect us with people from other parts of the world. I have learned things from TikTok and Instagram that I never knew. I took like taken the information to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, I learned this online. And she's like, yeah, that's absolutely true. So I think social media can be a very positive place. So I'm not saying this is like a negative, like, naysayer. I just think also that the space is so easy for people to yell misinformation, and sometimes the louder someone is yelling, they sound believable. So I think one of the challenges for us is to continually cut through that noise and point back to evidence-based strategies of what works. And so the misinformation, the other thing that I think is a challenge is it's almost too easy to enter into training. And I know this is unpopular opinion. I wish we were more regulated in some sense, because I feel like it's easy for like bad seeds to get in, and there's like small repercussions for them, versus just having a regulatory body that makes us more professional, I feel. So other industries have to go through so much to get, their license and certification. And I think it would actually it would help. I'm sorry. It would help us to have some of those same like steps to legitimize us as a more professional industry.
Jane, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some great info about yourself. Jane and I met each other at the Raise the Bar conference in kind of a funny way. We were all sitting pretty much together in the conference center, and when we took a break for lunch, I decided to take my lunch into the lobby and find a table that was big enough maybe to have other people at it, and sat down and started eating my sandwich that I made from the hotel room. A few moments later, a couple of people walked up. Jane was one of them, and we all sat down and just had lunch together. And for the duration of the conference, that is what we did each time we took a break. We all sat down together at this table and had our home packed lunches that we all took out from our lunch boxes, and we just discussed what we had going on, shared a little bit of information about each other, and reflected on some of the things we were talking about at the conference. It was just really a fun little table that we had going on at that conference. It was a great way to get to know each other and kind of really casually just share some good info with one another. I'm really happy that you guys got to know her a little bit more through this episode. If you want to get in contact with her and see what else she's about, check these show notes for all of her contact information. And if you want to learn more about FITLETE and possibly get your own episode, please visit fitlete.com. That's FITLETE.com. Thanks, and I'll talk to you soon.